I went through a season of a drought again. I was still playing the game on defense. I finally hired my first virtual assistant. All right, what's going on, guys? So we are back for episode 8 of Mindset Memoirs. And I just want to say thank you. If you've made it this far in the docu-series, I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the love, for all the sharing, for all the comments, all of it. So let's pick back up where we left off. So I just finally got my first deal after 8 months in this business, after 8 months of showing up every single day. And I want to remind people, I was fully showing up. It was full-time effort every single day for 8 months, just working on making this business real, making my first dollar. So Lorenzo Games lets me get 2 properties under contract. I wholesale them to a good investor buddy of mine, Kirk, and I'm jumping for joy because I'm in my bedroom in New York. I finally have proof of concept. This whole business works. So of course, now I'm armed with confidence. I'm armed with a $4,000 check, which means I'm only, $28,000 in the hole now, right? Like, I know you guys think like, oh yeah, you make money and now it's straight profit. No, I still got to pay off the original debt. Actually, it's more than this at this time because there's interest on the credit cards. There's systems I was paying for along the way. So I'm still in the hole. But again, I now know it works. So I wish I can say after this, the deals just start flowing in and flooding in. But quite frankly, after that first deal, I went through a season of a drought again. And this might be happening to some of you. I was still calling every day. I was still building my pipeline, but I didn't get anyone else that was saying yes right away. And quite frankly, I was actually afraid to even take some of that money and double down on things that I know I should have gotten to really increase my marketing. I know I should have invested in virtual assistants and buying a dialer. I'm still hand dialing because I'm that nervous of losing this money that I earned. And this is where I want you to realize where my mindset was at. And this is something that I had to start figuring out. I still had a scarcity mindset, although I just had my first victory, because it really is a numbers game. If you keep doing it enough, you will eventually win. I wasn't winning at the rate I wanted to win because I was still playing the game on defense. I was still trying to play the game not to lose. So I'm making these calls, and at some point, I'm never going to forget Will. Shout out to Will IRs. He's actually pretty pivotal in my process of growing. One day he calls me, because I'm getting better at this whole talking to sellers and talking to people and negotiating and things of that nature. And he calls me and he says, yo, bro, how many people are you following up with today? I'm like, well, none. I got to go generate leads. And he's like, wait, what? Generate leads? I was like, yeah, man, I got to go do some cold calling. He's like, why are you still cold calling? I was like, well, bro, I need more people to be able to talk to. He's looking at me, but why are you still cold calling? You figured out cold calling. You've already produced profit. You understand how this business works. You know it's real. So why are you going back onto level 1? You've already beat that game. You already beat that level. You should be playing on level 4 and bring other people on to help you with level 1, level 2, level 3. See, I sat with that. I really did, because Will said, bro, you're wasting your skills. And it hit me. It actually hurt a little bit. And I reflected, and thankfully I did, because that was when I finally hired my first virtual assistant. I brought somebody onto my team, and this is kind of cool. Sometimes we're afraid to hire people. I was afraid to hire my first virtual assistant, not because I didn't think that they would work. I thought, man, what if they produce and I can't close on the back end? What if I can't produce? And now this person is relying on me to eat. I'm paying their paycheck. See, I was thinking about all of this, and eventually I had to get out of my own head and I had to make that next step. So I made that next step, and guys, I want to tell you that it got easy right after I took that next leap. See, there's always leaps. I think you're starting to see a trend in the story here, that there's always these, you overcome one obstacle and then there's a new one right behind it. It's a different obstacle. That's the game of life. So I go to hire this person, I hire her, and you think I overcome the obstacle, but no, it gets worse. I'm scared. I'm like, crap, I really got to produce. But here's the thing. You run faster scared than you do any other way. So now with that added pressure of having to take care of my first employee, the first person who's helping me with my team, new things started to evolve in me, right? I started to figure out systems I could put in place. I started to figure out how to go and get data faster. I started figuring out just all these things that you need to know as a business owner start to make sense to me. I start to dive deeper into it, all because I now had a new pressure to help push me to a new level. So this starts to go, and we start generating leads. It was actually so nice. I'm never going to forget the day I have Jella. That was her name. Shout out to Jella. She was calling. She was on a dialer for me. So I finally also took some of that money and I invested in a dialer so she can make calls faster, because I was like, I'm not going to force her to hand dial on a Google Voice like I was doing. So she's calling on the dialer. And there was a day that I just wasn't feeling well. I was like, I just need rest, because I'm still cold calling alongside her. I'm still calling from my dialer. So yeah, I was kind of half in, half out. And I go to lay down because I'm like, I got to get some rest. I got to get a quick nap in. And as I'm laying there, I have my first entrepreneur moment. I have my first I'm a real business owner moment, because I'm taking a rest and work was still being done in my business. I heard the little chime of like a new lead entering the system, and I'm like, whoa, what is going on? I'm not doing anything, and yet the business is producing right now. Okay, I'm starting to understand. In order for me to grow a business, I need people. I need to build a team. I can't do this alone. In the beginning, yes, you have to hustle. And I knew that. I hustled. And you might be in your hustle season right now. In the beginning, hustle. But then start building out a team as fast as possible with good people. So that day when I'm laying there, I start to realize, okay, I need more people on my team. I need more help. And this is around the time I start reaching out to people on social media, and I start letting them know I'm looking to bring people on my team who wants to learn real estate. I invested so much money. I'm going to teach you everything I know. You don't have to pay a dime, but just come hang out and work with me. Help me out, and I will teach you everything. We'll hang out. We'll have office hours afterwards. And I started doing this, and shout out to Victor. Victor was one of the first dudes that hit me up from that Instagram post. And he used to come over to my house and he would help me make calls, and I would teach him all about sales and negotiation. Even another guy, Ben, would come down. And so I was starting to form a team. So, I got my first deal done. This is maybe about 4 months later. It took me another 4 months to get another deal under contract and to make, I think on that deal, I made a whole like $1,500. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm going in the wrong direction. But then very shortly after, because I had Gel building up a pipeline for me, I get my third deal done. That third deal I did for $9,500. And now I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is starting to work. And now I've got these two guys who are showing up to my house. We're sitting in my bedroom. I mean, it looks like the startup for like Amazon. We got my little plastic table. I'm putting my bed, I'm folding it to the side, and we're making calls together as a team. It was actually pretty fun. I look back on those times now, and it was a hell of a time. Like, we were just in there ripping calls. We had the whiteboard, and we're just like tallying, who's getting calls, who's getting cursed out. Like, we're just having a good time. And I want to remind people this. Start finding out a way to make the business fun. Right? Because, we were still getting rejected. We were still hearing people say no, but it was just a fun time. I was hanging out with my friends. It was cool. So around this time, I've got a couple of deals under my belt, and I start getting, the hints that I need to step up my game again. Like, I got to learn more, and I start finding new rooms that I need to go to. So I find my very first mastermind. And in the next episode, I'll tell you about what happened when I went to my very first mastermind and how that really catapulted my growth. So guys, if you've been enjoying this docuseries, if you're enjoying the Mindset Memoirs, leave a comment below. Let me know what's standing out to you. I want to hear from you. When's the time in your life that you really made something that was difficult into something fun? All right, so comment that. I'm looking forward to reading those comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Mindset, steady as the flow, navigating on my time spent, letting know every week a hesitation. It's been a few years, but there's no mistake, and there's a reason I'm here.